And you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now, because this is not the show for you. Now, what I'm going to talk about to you today in this educational video, this video is for educational purposes only. This video is going to talk about the serious matter of what it means to have a loved one in your life. It could be your mama, your daddy, or just a friend, someone who you deeply care about, and how they are struggling with addiction and how it impacts the black community. And I'm going to show some women, of course, some modern women, black American women, who are going to display how they ruined the family structure, basically. You know, so this is probably a moving episode today. Anyway, let me go ahead and get this started. I'm using these clips out of fair use. Hold on 1 second as I pull up the screen for you. There it is. Let's get it. This is going to be a man who is getting on his mother because she has stolen narcotics from him, and she is a crackhead.
Watch your mouth. Irene, where's my pills at? Watch your mouth. Man, you watch your mouth. You ain't my mama. Your mama raised me. Where's my pills at?
Now, right then, as you could tell, he's in a confrontation with his mom. I think we all have seen situations like this in the hood. I have uncles like this. We have aunties like this. I know family members who are like this right here, who they are of your family tree. They're blood relative, but they'll come in your house and they will steal everything that's not nailed down, so they can go out there and sell it to get some type of substance, to say it like that they indulge in. We know how women are when they get on this stuff real bad, how they will prostitute themselves out to anybody. They can prostitute themselves out to both genders. They don't care, as long as they get that high, as long as they get that apex of pleasure that comes from doing a narcotic. See, why am I talking about this today? Because unfortunately, the new generation today, in my most humble opinion, they are all about the drug culture. All these songs now that comes out that promote, you see more promotion of drug usage through music than you do through watching television programs or movies. And the women, not the men. The men, like Future, he talked about it all day, every day. But the women are celebrating drug usage. You'll find women with lyrical content who talks about taking pills, doing this and doing that now. Not only are they talking about using these things, but they're also talking about selling these things to other people in the community. And when you look around, almost everybody is high. Almost everybody's on some type of drug. I'm not talking about medications that are prescribed to you for a certain thing that's wrong with you, and when you use it correctly, it benefits you. I'm talking about people who are going out getting prescription pills that are not even meant for them, or they getting pills, they're getting scripts, they're getting hooked up on the scripts. The scripts mean prescription pill, and they taking these things just for pleasure, just for leisure, for recreational purposes only. And they sniffing powder, they are smoking rocks. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I said in one of my videos before, a few years back, or a few years back, I think I might have been in my mid-30s or something like that, or maybe late 20s, I think mid-30s, somewhere around there, or early 30s. I met a 14-year-old crackhead. A 14-year-old crackhead. Now keep in mind, this is way past the 90s. If anybody is smoking hard rock right now, and it's past the 80s, past the 90s, you really have no excuse, because you do know what it does to your body now. In the 80s when it hit, it's one thing. In the 90s, it was just people selling it left and right. But now in the 2000s, there's absolutely no reason for you to even be curious about trying it. Our women are stuck on doing these things. Our women are celebrating promiscuity and drug usage and hustling. This is pretty much, if you wrap it all up in a nutshell, this is what we are seeing. We're seeing women talk about getting a bag. F you. If it doesn't work out with you, I'll go sleep with your man. Promiscuity and greed. Doing pills. Cardi B says she drugged a very well-known, world-renowned rapper, Cardi B, had admitted that she used to drug people and rob them, incapacitate people and rob them. I don't know why I can say it a while ago, but you know what I mean. You got all these situations right now, but let's keep going. I want to take away from the story.
Back to you. Man, where are my pills at, man? You the only one stealing from me, dog. That's why I don't like you coming over. Your bitch ass always stealing. Why'd you steal it? Why you stealing? You the only person going in my stash. Where's my money and my pills, bro? First you doing crack, now you doing meth, now you doing pills. Where my f***ing shit at? Where's my shit at? And you gonna be just like the fucking crackhead. I'm not a f***ing crackhead. And you is a crackhead. I had a headache. Where my shit at? I had a headache. Where my shit at? I had a headache. I don't give a f*** what you had. So you using pills for a headache? Yes. You know that shit ain't for no headache. Where my f***ing pills at?
Hey, bro.
You better have my shit.
Bro, chill out, hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, that's your mom, bro.
Man, shut up, man. Don't tell him shit. Don't tell him because it's f***ing days. Where my shit at?
Cause what the fuck is you, boy?
Where my shit at?
Man, you a fucking, you tripping on a food? You tripping on pills, bro? Bro, you tripping on a few pills?
Irene, where's my...
Now, let me tell you something, man. The gentleman who tried to intervene, telling him to chill out and leave his mom alone, that's a great way to get shot. I'm going to tell you that right now. I understand the sentiment behind that when you're trying to stop this boy from going off on his mother, but you don't know how long they have had this type of relationship. There's no telling. He might put his hands on his mother, and apparently he sells drugs or whatnot, right? He's a drug dealer. What makes you think he was going to do something to you if you keep interfering with that stuff? Some of you got to use wisdom. I get where you're coming from, but if it get too bad, you call the police. Don't risk your life. When you talking about stop, and you want to become a super saver hole, whatever you want to call that, and then you have children at home, then you have a wife at home, you have family members who want to see you again, and you jump in somebody else's business, and they take your life. That's your fault. Everybody business. It's not your business. Sometimes you got to step back and say, okay, I ain't got nothing to do with that, homie. I ain't saying you can't try to affect it some other kind of way, like call police or whatever you think you may need to do. But at the same time, and it ain't about snitching. If you really think someone about to lose their life, do what you need to do. But don't just jump in people's business like that. That's a good way to get a black guy and to get shot to death. I'm just letting you know. But I've seen this before. Now, this was his mother. He going off on his mother. The mother going off on him. And if you notice or not, at the beginning of the video, he didn't call her mama. She identified herself as his mother. He called her by her first name, Irene. Whenever you see black children, and you see it all the time, whenever you see daughters or sons address their fathers and mothers by their first name, normally it's because they have a very bad relationship with each other. Because most children who love their mama and their daddy, when they talk to their mama and daddy, they don't dare address them by their first name. There was a time where that would be considered disrespect. You had to say ma'am, sir, or mama and daddy, or mother and father. You never called them by their first name like that, like they're just somebody in these streets, like your friend. But I got a lot more to show you. Hold on 1 second. I think this is the story right here. 1 second. Gotta make sure. 1 second, ladies. I'm trying to pull it up. 1 second. I got another thing up here. I'll just go ahead and play this one first.
They respect me a lot. My daughter with the 8 kids, she's there for me. I hang around my grandkids. They love me. But I just want to get rid of the crack. I can't take it. Years ago, I was on prostitution. I've done everything. I've been raped, and I've been almost, I've been beaten. All my relationships are violent. I get into. My teeth are going right now because of the boyfriend I had. He didn't want me to leave, and I wanted to leave, so he knocked all of my teeth out.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. I knew a girl that I was dating a while before I realized she was on pills. Because, you can smell everything else when it's burned. But pills, you got to watch for how people act when they're on pills. Some people act like they zombies and all spaced out. It depends on the person, of course. But with pills, you got to watch behavior. Everything else, you can kind of smell on them. Unless they go take 3 or 4 showers with it. But you can smell wet, which is PCP, Sherm. You can smell hard rock. You can smell a lot of stuff. Anything burns and you have to be burnt and you smell it. You can smell it, right? So she had a tooth knocked out too. Most of these women who are living this dangerous, who is walking this dangerous path of trying drugs, they do tend to get in relationships where men are slapping the hell out of them, beating up on them. Young girls who are not really strongly addicted to certain drugs, but they're on their way. They have a habit of popping pills. They have a habit of doing this. And even with weed, don't care what nobody say. Now, I know weed has some good beneficial properties to it when it's used the correct way or whatnot. But if you have to wake up in the morning and you have to smoke as soon as you wake up, you have a habit. If you can't go throughout a month, if you can't smoke it today and be like, you know what? I'm not going to smoke it for the next 3 months, man. I'll get back to it after 3 months. If you can't do that, you have a habit. You have a small, minor addiction to something. You do. It's like cigarettes, man. If you can't walk away from cigarettes for like 3 or 4 months, just like snap your fingers, it's cool. You have a cigarette addiction. You're addicted to that nicotine. You're addicted to how it makes you feel. So people don't want to say that, but anything that alters your state of mind can become addictive, man. Even sex addiction. It alters your state of mind because it releases chemicals in your brain like dopamine, which is like the equivalent of taking a shot of heroin. Anything that alters your mood. And unfortunately, this is what we see all the time in the community. See, these older women, now she might be younger than how she look, but when you're on drugs, it has the tendency of really aging your appearance. Now, let me tell you something. A lot of you young women who watch my show, this is your fate because you partying too damn much. All that riotous living, all that damn lifestyle of rambunctious promiscuity, all the things that you're doing out there, just trying to have a good old time. And then you experiment with drugs. You experiment with this. You experiment with different sexual lifestyle. You don't know if you're straight. You don't know if you're gay. You don't know if you're bi. It depends on what day of the week it is. And some of you are trying to step out and become a member of the LGBTQIA community just because your friends are doing it. So you're feeling peer pressured into experiment on licking cat and having your cat ate and eating people booty. That's exactly what's going on with some of you, because I done met too many of you not to know what I'm talking about. Because a lot of you have told me that's what you have done. A lot of women who have lived their lives, I don't know why I'm going there, but have lived their life in that community for 2 or 3, 4, 5 years. They come out that community and they try to look for a man. They want a man. A lot of them still want to be with a man, but it's something pleasurable, something that is addictive to what they like. They like doing it, and they get with you. And then they get with you, but they struggle with being heterosexual, and then struggling with going back to that community to the point where sometimes they say they want both. So they look for a man who can accept her for who she is, and they both get involved. And she become bi, or she cheats on that man and become down low. And this is not an insult to any of those people in the LGBTQIA community. I'm speaking from my point of view. This is my humble opinion. Let's keep going.
I've been sodomized. I've been everything. I've just been through so much hell, and it's like I just won't stop smoking crack. It seems like the crack is my everything. It's my boyfriend. It's my husband. It's everything, because I feel like it doesn't do me wrong. But then when I look in the mirror now, I see myself and I have no teeth. My skin is getting this, and I'm getting older, and I see the crack doesn't like me. So lately I live in the wine garden now, and I'm trying to get my life together, but it's not easy on Skid Row. It's like when you come out, all it is drugs, so you can't really get sober. But I'm trying my hardest, I just miss my daughter. I just miss my family. I just miss a whole lot of things. I'm just tired of myself. I have 4-stage cancer in my uterus. I can't have sex. I can't keep a relationship because I can't have sex because it hurts. It's very painful.
Damn, her story gets worse and worse and worse the longer you listen to it. I'm glad to cut off then. I mean, I feel sorry for her being in that situation, but I don't feel sorry for her making the choices that led her to those situations. You get what I'm saying? But when you're in it, sometimes you need help. When you are deep in a ditch, in a big pit, sometimes you need someone to throw a line down there to pull you up. But the thing is with addicts is they relapse a whole lot. I know. I got it in my family, man. I have one right now who will forever be a crackhead. Never gonna change. Older than dirt. Never gonna change. Good person, but on and off it all the time. That's just who they are. Never gonna change. Done put them in rehab, everything for years since I was a child. Never gonna change. Always gonna stay on that stuff. But you love them. You gotta accept them for who they are. And but you gotta know when they're around your house to hide certain shit. Don't let them come to your house. When you love somebody, you gotta make some kind of accommodation for them. Either you're gonna be like, okay, you can't come here, but if you love them, you know what I mean, and they got that habit, then you gotta try to find a way to work with it. Because at the end of the day, unless they get a relationship with God and He cleans them up, it still comes down to them to really wanting to change on their own. Now, let me show you what happened, ladies, to what's gonna happen to your children if you continue to live a lifestyle of running these streets, getting hooked on drugs, thinking it's a great old party out there. I'm going to let you listen to a lady who went through that when her mama was a crackhead. Let's go ahead and get to it. Now, when I say crack, It could be any type of drug. It could be your pills, because that seems to be very popular. It can be powder. That seems to be very popular among women now. Let's go ahead and get started. 1 second.
I know this all too well about having a mother that's on crack. Like, that's all I ever known my mama for, and it's hard that she have to be incarcerated now because she murdered someone, and she's had like a 30-year bid she had to do. But just growing up, like, just, it was embarrassing. It was hard. I miss her. I was her only daughter. And just being out of all her kids, I was like the closest to her, but I was the one she hurted the most. And just longing for her, you know, raising my kids and not being able to have my mom by my side just to help me raise my kids. And they basically got to see their grandma from behind the prison. It's hard. And even now, just being supportive towards her, trying to take care of her since my grandma passed away, since my great grandma passed away. Everybody that she had that was there for her have passed on. So it leaves a lot of stress on me to make sure that she's okay on the inside. And, you know, be supportive, because my brothers and my cousins, they hold grudges towards her. So they don't do nothing. They don't visit her. They don't write her. You know, nothing. So me being her only daughter, I try to be there and do the best that I can. And it's very depressing. I had a lot of depressed days dealing with this, and, you know, not knowing who my dad is, you know, because she lived a life. She lived the street life. So
Exactly, like I was saying before, living a lifestyle of righteous, living in promiscuity, going out there saying A and demon time and we slay and stuff. See, here's the thing with a lot of you women, what you don't understand. You can go out in them streets and don't intend to be hooked on anything. Just because your intentions are good does not mean it won't happen. Because you can go out there and intend that and intend not to get hooked on anything, but then you can have so-called friends who are really your enemies in a sheep and wolf's clothing, lace stuff for you. Lace stuff, put stuff in your cigarette, put stuff in your little blunt, put stuff in your little J, drop pills in your drink, pressure you into trying sniffing, pressure you to do that, telling you that it's the white, the coke, when really it's heroin. You don't know what it is because you have no idea what you're getting. So they get you hooked on the H instead of the coke, because the H is harder to get off of than it is the coke. Now you got black women today who doing meth. I told a story before about, I met a lady, middle-aged lady, and she was fine as hell, about maybe 35, 36, and she did meth. I didn't know till later. Couldn't even, like I say, it's just crazy, man, the way things are turning out to be right now.
So it was hard, you know, loving her and being there for her, despise her addiction and things like that, which I always knew since I was little that either she was going to be in jail or somebody was going to end up killing her or she was going to OD the way she lived her life and whatever the case is. But it made it traumatic for me. It made it very, very traumatic for me and my upbringing, being a girl, having a mother that's out there living that type of lifestyle, and even, you know, situations where I was in where, you know, she basically tried to use me for my shape, you know, just to see if one of her biters, you know, somebody that gave to her would be intrigued by me. Well, not necessarily like I would have to be with them or anything like that, but she was always like, oh, look at my daughter got a pretty shape, oh, my daughter's so pretty, and, you know, whatever. Like,
Okay, this woman is living in delusion now, because you and I, if you from the streets and been out there, we both know what this is. If her mother was showing her off as a young girl, like a child or minor, to other dudes who were buying stuff for her, you know, the pot or whatever it may be, she was willing and most likely would have pimped her daughter out to get what it is that she wanted. She would have pimped her out, would have made her daughter a prostitute just so that she can sustain her dirty, filthy habit. Okay? It happens all the time. She was just blessed to not have to go through that. But I guarantee you, if the circumstances was dire enough at that time, or however the situation would have been, she might be saying a different story today about her being prostituted by her mother just so her mother could get them drugs.
Put me on the pedestal. Now she would always put me on the pedestal, but I knew what it was for and things like that, so I would never like want to go nowhere with her. I was so ashamed and so embarrassed like for her to even be my mom, but I loved my mom. Like I would really fight for my mom. You can't talk about my mom, but I talk about her and things like that. But she my heart though. That's my heart. Like she don't even know like how bad like being a little girl, like just praying to God, crying like save my mama, like I want my mama to be around, you know, why she can't get her life together so she could raise her own children. Just dealing with that, it was it was very, very, very depressing, and I still deal with the aftermath of that to this day, even though I'm married and got a family of my own. But
That means she's traumatized from the horrible experiences. That's what I'm trying to tell you. A lot of you women are not considering how you are affecting your children. Every time you get pregnant with a man and don't require marriage, and then your child see you get pregnant by another man, now you got a step brother, then got a step sister and stuff like that. You don't think that affects the child? That child has to grow up. That stuff is ingrained in that child. And then if you're on drugs, like the stuff that you're doing when you abandon your children to the streets, them children understand what you're doing, man. And when you do those type of things like that, you traumatize them. This lady right here, this big woman here, needs to get therapy. Seriously. I'm not going to even crack no jokes on it today. But I can tell that's a horrible thing because I've known grown people that my age and younger, a little bit older, who actually have lived through that to where their parents was on stuff like that, man. And it's not a pretty sight. They have a lot of anger issues, a whole lot of stuff, man. The children do.
I feel like I'm still on survival mode because I'm trying to like be the perfect mom in my everyday life. And I know no one's perfect, but every day I try to be so much better than her. And even not just her, my grandma was on crack. My granddaddy was on crack. God bless their souls. My aunt was on crack. My uncle did coke, you know. And I just felt like it was just a demon.
So she come from a family of crackheads. As funny as that seems, but that's exactly what that is.
My uncle did coke, you know, and I just felt like it was just a demon just was chasing my family.
One more clip and we out of here. Driving home this point.
And you're going to do whatever it takes to get more?
I've died off of fentanyl.
Now, this woman has died a couple times, OD'd on a couple things. See, ladies, when you start to get in these streets, some of these women look horrible now, but they probably would look beautiful if they would never known things. When you are in these streets, ladies, like you like to be, and hang around the wrong people like you like to do, there's a very strong chance that this could be you. A lot of women have had dreams of going to college, collegiate careers, and wanted to get doctorates and live a wonderful life, be married, but get caught up in them streets, get chewed up and spit out. And these are the results of it.
And you're going to do whatever it takes to get more?
I've died off of fentanyl. I wanted some crack that day so bad. I begged this boy for some crack. And for some reason, I never pray over my drugs, but I prayed over that crack rock. I said, Lord, please, make sure there's no fentanyl. And as soon as I hit it, I told him call 911.
How many times have you OD'd like that?
At the police station with a handful of crack rocks, and they even packed my bong in my bra when I got to the hospital. I left the hospital and I didn't even go home. I came right back downtown looking for some more crack. And I was out here bent over. I couldn't even walk. Still hustling to get crack. I'd be crying for crack. It's sad. But listen, I haven't talked to my daughter in years. My son, none of my kids do drugs. And they know about my addiction. My son tries to talk to me, tell me, Mom, if you die out here, nobody cares but me. You got to get clean if you want to be around your grandkids. You think I went to a program or I stopped? Still pulling like a locomotive.
Sad story, y'all. My allergies keep me. I know y'all might think it's a cigar, but no, I have bad allergies. In Houston over here, in this area I'm at over here, our weather go up and down. The leaves on our trees are still green. It should be brown or off, right? At this time of the year. pollen is crazy out here right now. Ragweed is crazy out here. You take Claritin all day, man. You get high for Claritin over here. Oh yeah, I'll be doing a live stream today, so you may only get 2 videos today from me, so I can focus on the content that I'm going to drop for you in the live stream at 5:15 Central Standard Time. Again, a live stream will be held on the Jeremy Hill Show at 5:15 Central Standard Time. The reason I'm doing today because the holiday season, everything is kind of ain't lining up because New Year Eve is going to be on Sunday, and everybody want to party and chill, stuff like that. So I'm gonna do it today. So 5:15 Central Standard Time, I will have a live stream, and you may just get only 2 of these type of videos today from me as I prepare for that later on this evening. And y'all take it easy now, you hear?